Let's go over how to do the seated abductions for maximum glute gains. How do you really do them to connect with your booty cheeks? We're going to be breaking this video down into how to mess with the machine, how to set up the machine. Then we're going to be talking about executing it, what to do and not to do, how to connect with the glutes and how to not connect with the glutes. Finally, we're going to close out the video talking about tips and tricks so you don't feel it in your hip flexors and you feel it all in the gluteus maximus. Starting with the setup. First thing you should note is that some machines include both abduction and adduction. If you don't know the difference between the two, remember it like this. Abduction with a B stands for booty. Abduction is the one where you feel it in your glutes. That's the one where you're throwing your legs open. Adduction stands for add. Think about adding your legs together. That's the one where you push your legs together. You're going to feel that one all on the inside of your thigh. Now, what you're going to want to do is look for a knob. Typically, the only thing that you have to adjust on an abduction machine is going to be this knob. It's usually going to be located underneath your seat. Pull that knob to adjust how far apart you want your legs to be. When I do abductions, I like my legs to be as close together as possible, so I get the biggest range of motion possible. The machine at my gym, its range of motion is kind of shitty. So what I like to do is I like to get some yoga blocks and stick them between my leg and between the pad of the chair, and that helps me get a bigger stretch in my glutes and a deeper range of motion. The burn is just chef's kiss when you do it like this. So that's a pro tip. So now that you learned how to set up the machine, let's execute. Starting with tip number 1. How far forward on your seat versus how far back should you be sitting? I see this all the time with my clients. They'll be like, Coach, I can do the whole stack. And then I notice that they're so far up the seat that they made the exercise too easy. So honestly, I like to sit as far back as possible so I can connect with my glutes better with less weight. Now that you know how far forward or how far back to sit, how far forward should you be leaning? Should you be leaning forward? Should you be leaning all the way back here? Should you be sitting up? Everyone has a different take on this. I'm not even sure if there's enough studies to really know which way is best. So I'm going to defer you to Brett Contreras. If you don't know who he is, he's like a PhD. He's been a trainer for like over 30 years. He's kind of like the glute guy. He's taught me everything that I know about glutes. Check out his Instagram or check out his YouTube. He might have opinions on what does what the best, like if leaning forward versus leaning back targets a different part of your glute. I don't have an opinion on that yet. All I know is that different machines that I've tried help me connect with my glutes better in different angles. Most seated abductions machines that I've done, I feel my glutes better when I'm leaning forward. But this new gym that I'm at, the seated abduction machine is a little janky, and I find that I connect best with my glutes when I'm leaning back. So my best advice to you is to play around with your degree of leanage and see what allows you to connect with your glutes the best. Let's move on to foot placement. A lot of the same for foot placement. Some people argue you want your feet further out versus further in. I don't think there's any studies that really sees a difference between the two. So just pick the foot placement that, again, allows you to connect best with your glutes and allows you to feel the strongest. Don't overthink it. Just put your feet somewhere and feel it in the butt cheeks. Now, a common mistake I see my clients making is they'll kind of just like flail the weight around and just do whatever. No, I want you to brace, whether you're holding the handlebars underneath the chair, you're holding the chair behind you, or you're holding something in front of you. Brace with your entire body. Any isolation exercise I do, I really like to brace with my entire body. All the muscles in my body are turned on and engaged and focused on the exercise that I'm trying to execute. Like I told you, currently at the gym that I'm at, I like to lean back and I'll either hold onto the seat below me or kind of like push off of it. But the point is, my whole body is engaged so that I can connect with my glutes. Tempo. Another common mistake I see my clients making is they're just flailing the weight around. They're not even connecting with their glutes. Anything in the gym, you're always going to connect better with your glutes when you take it slow and controlled. Here's what you're gonna do. Focus on a snappy and explosive concentric. So when you open your legs, you're pushing out as hard and as fast as you can. But when you're letting your legs fall back together, control it. Go nice and slow and controlled. And this is going to be true for any exercise in the gym. I always make my concentric explosive, and then my eccentric, the negative part of the movement, I always take it slow and controlled. And this really helps me connect with the muscle that I'm trying to target. Okay? Don't just flail the weight around. Connect with the glutes. You know what else I'll do? I will pre-squeeze my butt cheeks before I even start the exercise. Do you see that? That's me squeezing my butt cheeks. My butt cheeks just turned on. Squeeze my butt cheeks before I even start the exercise. I like to visualize my cheeks contracting and shortening, and that's what's pulling my legs apart. It's all initiating from the glutes. Vision it initiating from your glutes. Again, don't just flail that shit around. Control it. Another common mistake I'll see my clients making. As you start getting tired through your set, your natural intuition is to start trying to speed up towards the end to get as many sets, as many reps as possible. Don't do that. My coach always tells me, Marina, stay composed. The speed that you start the set at is the same speed that you finish the set at. Stay composed. What's the point of getting more reps if you're having to cheat it to get them? Don't be a cheater. Okay, probably the last tip I have for execution is I like to stay within the 8 to 15 rep range for most isolation exercises, and the seated abduction is no exception. 8 to 15 reps, please, as long as you're approaching failure. Don't forget about that part. We should be approaching failure, okay? Okay, now that execution's out of the way, let's talk about tips for not feeling it too much in your hip flexors. Probably the first thing I'll ask is the weight too heavy? The weight's too heavy, so you're not able to connect with your glutes. So first, try lowering the weight. Next, think about sitting tall. I literally like to sit tall. In yoga, they tell you to sit so tall that you're coming out of your sit bones. I feel my butt like coming out of my chair to the point where your butt's like hovering over the chair, but your butt cheek is still making contact with the seat. See if that helps you come out of your hips and really connect with your glutes. And then the last thing I'll say is just squeeze the shit out of your ass. I don't think you've learned how to squeeze your ass and feel that mind muscle connection with the glutes. See if that doesn't help you not feel it in your hip flexors. Oh, and another thing, leaning forward or sitting back, play around with different degrees of lineage. That might also help with addressing it if you feel it in your hip flexors. Because like this new gym that I'm going at, like I said, the abduction machine is a little janky. And so I find that leaning forward, I feel it too much in my hip flexors. And when I lean back, I can really connect with my glutes. Okay? So that's that on that. Those are my 2 cents on the seated abduction. I hope this helps someone really connect with their glutes and make gains in their glutes. As always, you should be following a program, keeping track of your training notes, and applying progressive overload, okay? If you're just doing seated abductions willy-nilly and you're not getting stronger over time, you're not going to grow those glutes. The foundations aren't there. You need to be getting stronger over time. You need to make sure that you understand that. But if you like this video, please like and comment. It helps me so much. It helps me know that you're enjoying it. It helps YouTube know that you're enjoying it so more women can have access to this information. Subscribe if you want to see more of me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, Pookie.